But one thing I'm really looking forward to and very excited about to answer your question nail on the head is, and I think I'm allowed to say it now. Are you ready? I'm up in the stands. I'm in my DJ booth. I'm looking down on two naked women who are doing a gladiator battle.
We make it happen.
Welcome to Series 2, Episode 2 of the We Make It Happen podcast, a podcast designed for people within the events and entertainment industry, delving into the funny and maybe not so funny aspects of all our lives.
Woo!
Woo!
Can you get a cheer on the sound of that?
Do you know what? We are so happy. And the reason we're so happy is because that is the fifth time that we have done that. Yep, it has been
Fifth
a roller coaster of events leading up to this. Many false starts, which we've previously never really had before.
No, we've got stage fright because we've got the big boss man next to us. That's
yes,
what it is.
we do. So you will hear familiar voices, obviously. My name is Callum Sweet on sax. You should already know that. And then opposite to me, we have...
Christy or Christix Drumming. Hello.
And in the room, we have a very, very special guest, the big man, the big boss.
Big dog.
Paul Roberts from Exceed Events.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Just tell us, for the second time already, by the way, just tell us who you are, a little bit about yourself, and also Exceed.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, again, thank you guys for having me. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today, and thank you very much for your kind introduction. I will take the big dog and the big man and everything else that you've just said. But yeah, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Paul. I am the co-owner of Exceed Events, we are an event supplier, and we specialise in premium live entertainment. Obviously, you two are very much a part of that. Audio, visual production, and event technology.
Amazing. That sounds very slick.
Yeah. Thank you. I've been working on that.
I'm practicing that one, yeah?
Yeah.
So we will go on to speak about what Paul does more so, and also his background, because you've got quite the background in the entertainment industry as well.
A veteran, some would say.
A little bit, yeah, I've got a little bit.
Oh yeah, you're not just like this director of a big company. There's a lot to you.
Yep.
But as always, customary with the We Make It Happen podcast, we always do our podcast check-in. So, Paul, we will start with you. Basically, I just want to know about your week, whether it's been a week that you've loved, a week that you've loathed, the good bits, the bad bits, and everything in between.
Okay, no problem. So, I've had a really positive and productive 7 to 10 days. We've had quite a lot going on in that period of time. So the first thing that was going on was we've just done a photo shoot at a brand new venue. We've just partnered with a brand new venue. And as part of that partnership, what we do at the very early stages is we go into the venue, we take everything we own, our DJ packages, corporate setups, light up letters, dance floors, everything you can think of. We pretty much empty the warehouse, and we went up to the venue. We spent 2 days on site, and that's where we did various setups in various rooms. They've got rooms all over, from small, 50 capacity rooms to 200 plus capacity rooms. So it was 2 heavy lifting days, moving equipment all around the venue and getting a really good photo shoot together, so then we can make a branded brochure for the venue.
Lovely. Are you a bit sore then now?
Very sore. So that was that was done across a Monday and a Tuesday. So there was a lot of loading before it happened. There was obviously the event day itself, and then there was the unloading process after it. And then I think we had a 24-hour rest, and then we were straight into the Great Northern Wedding Show.
Oh wow, big week.
Yeah, it was, and again, multiple vans loading, set up and so on and so on. So it's been a really busy 7 to 10 days. But now that it's done and my back's better and I'm over it, if you actually look back, it's been really good. Really good fun.
You weren't doing any heavy lifting though, were you?
Do you know what I was? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought you just be ordering people.
No,
Look at
do
your
you know
fingers.
what? If you could have a camera on me, I'm very much involved. I've got my back support on, and
Lots of back support.
Yeah, I'm at that age now, I think, where I do need one when I'm loading and doing heavy lifting.
No, Paul is a grafter. I have seen it with my own eyes.
So that's would you say that's a love or a
yeah,
love?
So I would say the last 10 days I've absolutely loved it, because it's a big tick off our list to get the corporate and the wedding photo shoot done at the new venue. That's been coming for a while. It was a lot of work and we've done it. So now I'm feeling like it was brilliant. Great Northern Wedding Show, loads of planning goes into it. It's quite stressful leading up to it. But again, now that it's done, I think we absolutely nailed it and it was fantastic. So I would say I've absolutely loved it. There was parts of it where I was tired, long days, heavy lifting. Like I've just said, I can picture people now at the office saying, "Get your violin out, Paul." But so it was absolutely fantastic. The only downside of it, I suppose, was just there was some long days, but it's part of the job, I suppose.
I mean, stuff on that scale, especially. I mean, I've played at the Great Northern Wedding Show, but with your photo shoots as well. How the hell do you even plan that?
A lot goes into it. There's a lot of, for example, the Great Northern Wedding Show, we've been planning that since January. Wow. So that's when we have our first meeting. We look at what we did last time, what we can do this time, the artwork, the artists, the mixes that we're going to put on. There's a lot that goes into it. And then the day before the Great Northern is the loading day as well. So that in itself is a full Saturday loading in. So a lot of work. But yeah, we've done it. We nailed it, I'd like to think. And yeah, ready to do it all again at the back end of the year.
How many people then from Exceed are working at the Great Northern Wedding Show?
All of us.
So how many is all of you?
So on the loading day, there'll be 5 or 6 of us crewing it, loading it and getting it ready. And then on the event day itself, there's myself, Chris, Martin, Beth, Leah, obviously you guys. I know you didn't perform this time, but there's, the artists, there's probably 10, 15 of us. So
many moving parts.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts, yeah.
But
it comes together in the end and it's a really good show.
Yeah, great.
So yeah.
So apart from your back, you're a love.
I'm a love.
And
I would say I've had a fantastic 10 days that I've loved, and I'm feeling really positive about what's come of that. So yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
That's good.
Callum, what about you?
Go on then.
Beat you to it.
Oh yeah.
What about you? Love or loathe?
I'm a love, actually. I am a love. I do have a loathe bit. Okay. For sure, definitely. But my love, I've done. So we had bank holiday weekend just gone. I did 6 gigs. All 6 were really good. But what I did notice is that normally I'm a big favour, more so. I favour the club gigs. I always prefer those just because the music is always a bit different. You never know what you're going to get. It's a bit of a challenge for me. I'm like, oh, okay, this tune, I didn't expect this tune. I've never played this tune before. That's great. But obviously, as we've spoken about so many times on the podcast before, the nightlife industry at the moment is quite terrifying. So I've noticed that although half of my gigs were club gigs, those gigs were probably the worst attended,
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah. And although I enjoyed it, doing it, it was sad to see because it's bank holiday and you'd expect, there'd be loads of people out, but it just, and this isn't because of the places that I play or whatever. I think this is just overall what's happening at the moment is people aren't going out.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It's bank holiday. I remember bank holiday 5 or 6 years ago and everywhere would be packed. Everyone's out. It doesn't even matter whether they like the place or not. They're just there.
Yeah.
And now it's just not the same anymore. So that was disappointing, but I still loved it. I still loved, connecting with the same DJs and playing with them. So that was great. Weddings, I've had have been really good. I've done some birthday parties as well. In fact, I did a birthday party for Exceed, which was amazing. That was really good. It was in a tent, and in somebody's farm.
Yep.
Like a teepee type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
I'm sure you'll know the event. It was amazing.
Good.
It was, I would say, not because it was Exceed, but it was probably one of my favourite gigs so far this year.
Really?
Because it was just electric from start to finish and everyone was absolutely loving it. It was one of those moments where you go, this is why I do this job.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is why. Yeah.
When you get a gig like that, it's different. It's on a different level, isn't it? So yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So that was the love bit. A bit of a funny story that's probably a bit of a loathe bit. I'm going to kind of look into the camera as I say this because it's actually directed pretty much at someone.
Oh, okay, go for it. Give them daggers.
And they're gonna love the fact that I'm mentioning this. So I used to work at school. I used to be a teacher. And normally I bump into students here and there, usually in Sheffield because that's where I taught. However, I did not expect to bump into a student in York in Pizza Hut, of all places. There I am, having me break between gigs, you know, just having a bit of downtime, bit of me time. And I walk into Pizza Hut, and all of a sudden, probably within the first 5 seconds, oh my effing God, it's effing Mr. Sweet. And I just wanted the world to swallow me up.
I think I might introduce you like that on every single gig now. Oh my effing God, it's Sweet on effing sax.
Yeah, yeah. Now, can you imagine? It's a Sunday, everyone's out with their families in Pizza Hut. Kids eat for free in Pizza Hut.
Yep.
Oh,
So there's lots of kids about. And the first thing that came out my mouth was, can we stop with the swearing? And I'm thinking, and I suddenly went into teacher mode, you know, straight away. And then I thought, oh, well, this kid's now like 20. And, you know, it's up to him whether he wants to swear. I can't police that in the same way that I probably would have if I was a school teacher. So, and then this waiter came up to me and he said, I'm guessing you'll just want to sit as far away from these guys as possible. And I was like, please, that'd be great. And sure enough, I did. But every single time, like there was a moment actually where I saw this kid's camera up in the air, taking a video of me on TikTok.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know you used to be a teacher.
I did, yeah.
Can I ask what did you teach?
I t-
Sax or
No.
maths?
I taught maths. Yeah. Did you know it?
No. I don't know how I got that right.
I don't know either, yeah.
Maybe you look like a maths teacher.
Oh,
Maybe
great.
that's what it is. I didn't know you did. I didn't know you used to do that. It's very
Yeah, I
interesting.
used to do cover, and then I went into teaching maths from there. Yeah, and all the kids would be like, "Oh, why don't you do music?" Because that wasn't available at the time. Is the real reason? Yeah,
Fair enough.
But yeah, so that was a bit of a loathe. But it was kind of like not really a loathe of the job. It was just a life loathe.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I kind of, you know, if I could almost delete the fact that I was a teacher for a bit or make everyone forget that I was, that would be great. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. Christy.
Yeah, I am on a love. Well, a bit of both, really. A love and a loathe. I've had 2 weeks off, and they have been fantastic because the loathe part of my story is we've got some pretty crappy news in the family. So I always kind of, whenever I have a gap off in gigs, I always think, God, why does no one want me? But actually, there tends to be a reason why. And either someone says something to me or someone needs me to do something, and that's like things happen for a reason. So I have had 2 weeks off, which has been obviously quite nice to spend it with the family. But then I've had 3 gigs back to back, and they have all been phenomenal.
Good.
And it's been the same thing as what you guys said when it was like, this is why I do the job.
Yeah.
And it could have been so easy to kind of go into them into a bit of a poor mindset. I do think I actually cried before the one on Saturday. Whoops. But no, it was great. And I did a birthday party on the Friday, and the music was fab, and it was with a gorgeous girl called Leah. She's a sax player. And she bought me like a little teddy to kind of cheer me up, and that's what made me cry. That was on Friday. And then on Saturday, I had another gig in a beautiful venue in York, and I think I was getting hit on by a very attractive man.
Oh. Has this gone anywhere?
No.
Oh. And that was the end of that story.
It never does. But yeah, no, he was actually very pretty. But I think he was quite shy because he kept making excuses to come over and go, oh, that was a great set, by the way. Yeah. And then look really nervous and just kind of walk away. And this must have happened about 5 times throughout the night. And I was like, just talk to me. But yeah, so he was nice. But then so that boosted my ego a little bit. It made me feel a bit better. And then I did a cracking gig on Sunday night, which was just a private birthday party. And we thought they had exclusive use of the bar, but it wasn't. They just put the entertainment in the bar, and any casuals could come in as and when. But that was great. And there were 2 dancers there, but the bar was so packed, the dancers couldn't even move around. Me and the DJ were like wedged in this little alcove. And they said it was the busiest thing they've ever had. Like, people were getting messages saying, come down to this venue because it's going absolutely crazy. And it's just meant to be like a really chilled cocktail bar, but apparently they took like 50 or 60 grand on the bar.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
This was in Sheffield.
Yep.
Yes, because we swapped places. You ended up being basically in my back garden, and I ended up being in Leeds.
So yeah, I've had 3 really, really good gigs, which I'm excited about. And I don't know who I think I am, because I had a PT on Thursday, then gig, and then a PT yesterday. And I woke up this morning like I've been hit by a train.
I can imagine.
But yeah, apart from that, I am on a love, definitely, because it's always good to take your mind off things, isn't it? And I took my mind off things with the best people in the best places with the best atmosphere, and it was fantastic.
Amazing. I suppose the fact that you got, obviously you said you've just had a difficult time over the fact that you've got 3 back-to-back gigs that have been brilliant as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably perfect timing. If you would have gone into that weekend with some difficult gigs, you know, it might have been a little bit, especially with what you know. So the fact that you got 3 back-to-back amazing gigs, then yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so I am definitely on 8 love. So I'm very happy.
It does help, doesn't it? A good gig sometimes.
Of course.
You know, you never know. That's sometimes personal. You can have some personal issues, can't you? You can have an argument with your partner, just a little argument, and then you do this gig and
you're playing at someone's wedding, and
you
you're
can't
thinking,
remember.
God, they're so goddamn happy, the bastards.
Well, no, I'm usually I just forget about everything, and then I'm that little argument. I can't remember it. Can't even remember it because you're on such a high. It's put you in such a good mood that it just all of a sudden makes you think, oh, actually, certain things just aren't important.
No.
And you're just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, there are obviously very important things that happen, at the same time that can affect your mood as well.
Yep.
But just to have that moment break when
just
you
a bit
do,
of respite, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 hours, and you look. The only times when it's like, oh, great, is obviously when you get to a gig and, no one seems to be enjoying it, or the DJ's not quite what you expected, or you've got an issue with your equipment, those things don't help. But on the whole, 9 times out of 10, it goes well. Speaking of going well,
see what you did there.
Well, I was trying to make a link, but actually in my head now as I'm saying it, I'm thinking I'm not sure whether it's the best link. But speaking of going well, what I was going to say is, what have you got coming up that you hope to go well, is for yourself and for Exceed?
So for Exceed, we're just heading into busy wedding season now. So we've got loads of weddings coming up. We're just about to go into the thick of it. We've got some really big, larger corporate events that are coming up that I love to get involved in, something a little bit different from, doing the weddings all the time. It's nice to do some, a bit of a variety. So wedding season, corporate events, we're just going into a really busy period of the year now, which I'm looking forward to. And then, towards the back end of the year again, I'm already looking forward to the Lake District Wedding Show, the Great Northern Wedding Show. They're all creeping up again. It's just, it's never ending. But one thing I'm really looking forward to, and very excited about, to answer your question nail on the head, is, and I think I'm allowed to say it now. Are you ready?
I'm so
I don't
excited.
know if we are ready.
Are you ready for this? We have just received an email over the weekend to say that we are in the finals of the Great Northern Wedding Awards.
Wow.
You've heard it here first. We got the email over the weekend.
Got an exclusive.
That's amazing.
I believe it's going to be in June when the final and the evening party and the awards are going to take place. So yeah, fingers crossed. We're going to pick up an award. I hope so, and that's happening in June. So really looking forward to that.
Amazing. So will that be held? Where will that be held?
That's going to be at Mitt and Fold.
Oh, okay.
And it's the Little White Box Great Northern Wedding Awards.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's
we're
brilliant news.
we're in the finals. So we're gonna release it tonight actually on Instagram.
Oh, so we really.
Oh my God, we are the
You
exclusive.
heard it here
You are the
first.
exclusive. So we're going to release it tonight, and yeah, hopefully we can pick up the award, which would be perfect.
That's great. Normally, where you heard it here third, but now we actually have an exclusive.
I thought I'd save that for you and just drop that in and give you the exclusive there.
Oh,
So
well, thank you very much.
you're very welcome.
That's
How
great.
exciting.
In terms of personal, like other stuff outside of business, what I've got to look. To be honest, I've just been away. I went to Tenerife for 11 days.
Nice.
My birthday was in April, so we kind of tied it in with that.
Nice.
And I've nothing really on the diary now until January next year, where we're going skiing, snow skiing in Bulgaria.
Nice.
Incredible.
I used to do it a lot when I was younger. We used to go every year when I was like 14, 15. We did Austria, France, Italy, Bulgaria. We did quite a few places. I'd like to say I was okay at skiing back then. Not done it for a long time now. So now that my little boys are at a good age, my wife's never done it. My mum wants to go again. We're going in January.
Oh, that'd be so lovely.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. I wish it was sooner, but, we'll get there. And maybe another trip to Tenerife in the meantime.
I'm guessing you like Tenerife.
I do. I
How many times have you been?
I got married in Tenerife.
Oh wow!
Aw.
So quite a lot then.
And I lived out there for 3 years.
Oh.
That's where I was a bit of a DJ back in the day in Tenerife, which we might touch on a bit later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hablas español, sí?
See,
un poco.
donde
We'll
está
put
la playa?
subtitles.
That's all I know.
Me gustaría una cerveza, por favor.
So yeah, I did. I do go quite a lot to Tenerife. I've kind of gone my dad started taking me when I was 11, and it's just somewhere we've always been. I've got friends out there. I lived out there. There's friends that I met over there that are still DJing out there. So yeah, somewhere I go quite a lot. And with us getting married there, it's nice to go and relive that experience as well, which is really cool.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's great. Yeah, that's really cool. Christy, I've got there first now. You looked at me. Go on, what have you got coming up?
I am going to Santorini on Thursday, so I am very excited about that.
Very nice.
I touched on it briefly last week, or last podcast, but yeah, I'm flying out with Girl on Sax, and I think there's some rich Americans who are flying all their friends in, and I think it's just a party, it's not even a wedding, they're all just coming to Santorini.
Are you gigging?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gigging in Santorini, so I think the gig is on Saturday, but because it's my parents' anniversary, we're flying out on the Thursday, and then we're extending it for a week.
Wow, very
So
nice.
Thursday through Thursday, which would be lovely. And I've not been before.
I've never been.
No, but it's
I've
meant to
never
be
been.
absolutely beautiful. I just wish I was going with a man, but I'm not.
I don't even know where it is.
Santorini?
No, I've never. No, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Greece. Okay, yeah, of course.
You've seen the big blue domes on the white buildings and on the cliffside, and
I've seen all the TikTok videos, but I've never been. But I've heard
No.
it's definitely an
No.
experience.
I will have to show you a photo. You will know straight away.
So there's loads of TikTok videos on it.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Oh, so is it like a social media influencer kind of place?
Yeah, but it wasn't really meant to be. It's kind of got popular in the last 5 years for loads of proposals and.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I think my uncle actually used to have a bar out there, going back 30 years ago or so, and he was one of the first English bars on the island. And then he ended up used to play like all these stupid games. He was one of the people who brought the slippery nipple and the orgasm and all these stupidly lame shots.
Yep.
He put them on a big thing outside, and he doubled sales overnight because everyone just thought it was hilarious. So he was like one of the first English bars in Santorini.
I didn't even realise that they were shot names.
So he made them up.
Okay.
He made them up, and it was like.
Have you never had a slippery nipple shot?
No.
Oh, no, right, okay.
That was a habit of mine. I don't know why. Me and my friend, whenever we got a tattoo, we'd then go and have a slippery nipple.
You may have noticed now, by the way, this is to the viewer, that on Spotify we have a little E next to this is why. Because we just never know what you're going to end up talking about on this podcast.
Slippery nipples. But yeah, it was always really cool and interesting. I like hearing all these little stories. So I'm going to go there, which would be nice.
Nice.
I think we've hired a boat, maybe go to a beach bar. We're staying in Ia, which is meant to be like on the good side where you see all the sunset. So it should be beautiful, really. And then, as you know, I've got into gardening. I don't know why. Well, it's to do with the bad news, really. I've hyperfixated on gardening and growing my own veg and stuff. And I've also got some little sun beetles, which is from when the pet shop closed, which my parents used to have when we retired. So I've had to like distribute all my plants and my bugs to all these different people whilst they go away for a week, and I'm not sure if they're overly happy about it. I think they'd prefer if it was like a cute dog or something rather than like a little invert. Yeah, a beetle.
What is a sun beetle? Sorry.
It's a beetle.
Well, no, I gathered that, but what like why is it called a sun beetle? Is it?
Oh, it's as far as beetles go, it's really actually quite pretty. It's really bright yellow, the same colour as Paul's.
As the sofa, yes,
yeah.
as the chair.
As if you didn't know that.
No,
I know everything about beetles.
Basically, they're a fruit beetle that originated in Africa, I think, and they kind of live in the bottom of the rainforest and they eat all fruit that comes down. So when my parents retired, I've just realised I haven't actually spoken about this. I sound very odd. When my parents retired, I really wanted like an ever-living kind of an enclosure that I could show my kids one day and be like, look at all the weird shit your granddad used to sell. And that was kind of the thought process. So I've got maggots and they kind of hatched out into sun beetles and they'll breed and go to maggots and beetles. And
But they won't. But hold on, when you have kids, how long do these beetles live for?
I think it's a few months. In the full adult phase.
Sorry,
I am expecting.
How soon are you?
That shy man wasn't that shy on that gig.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, because the idea is then they breed and then they create more grubs and it would just be like an ongoing life cycle inside the tank. That would be the thought process.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of big life changes recently. I'm clinging on to my sanity by a thread. Just bear with me.
Each
Callum,
to their own. If Beatles works for you, that's absolutely
Yeah.
They do. I'm not allowed a cat. So, right. Callum, moving on to you to make me
Yes.
look hopefully more sane.
Yeah. I don't think I'm
What are
going to
you
do that very
What are you
well, to
looking
be
forward
honest.
to? Please help me. I'm floundering.
So this, just a few weeks ago, I got a confirmed gig in France.
Woo!
Which for me, I was quite pleased about because I've always said to you, and probably on this podcast, that I would quite like to do gigs abroad, but they just never quite happen.
Right.
But on the We Make It Happen podcast, I made it happen.
Hey.
Because somebody got in contact with me, to be honest. I mean, they did all the work, really. I just said yes. But so it's in end of July next year. And it's in Toulouse. I believe that's a place, in France. I think it's south of France, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that because it will be the first gig that I've done abroad in, I think, maybe since before COVID, you know. I think the last place I did a gig abroad was in Austria. Or was it Spain? Yes. One of those two places.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. But it was a very long time ago. So I'm looking forward to that. The only issue is I somehow have to get a speaker over there. Yeah, because we're going to have to play to... Because it's quite a chilled set, so we're going to have to play to backing music, which is fine. But I just don't quite know how to get a speaker over there.
Yeah, you can definitely do it. People get golf clubs there. People take the dogs there.
Hire one there.
I'm sure you can get some.
If you can get a dog there, I suppose.
Get a dog there, you can definitely do it.
Yeah.
How did you get a booking like that? Where does that come from? Is that your own socials or somebody you know?
Well, this is what I've always wondered, to be honest, with you, Christy, because you always are saying, "Oh, I'm going off to such and such a place," and I'm like, how does this happen? But the client had seen me at a gig. In Revolution Deansgate in 2018 when I just started. So yeah, I mean, they still remembered me 8 years on. So yeah, they just suddenly contacted me and said, are you free? Because we're going to get married in France. And I've had messages like this before, and to be honest, it sounds bad and maybe quite negative, but I take it with a pinch of salt because I'm like, until you pay me the first payment, it's probably not going to happen, is it? It's a lovely thought, but then when you start thinking about, it's going to cost this,
and your
they're
flights,
asking,
flights, accommodation, transfers, luggage,
and then obviously there's even the taking your instrument in the first place and the cost of that, and then if they want a speaker, someone said to me, have they thought about hiring, hiring as well? That costs money, but even getting another seat in the plane for the speaker. And I'm thinking, that's then going to cost them even more money. But I'm saying all these things to them so they know, this is what potentially could happen. Yep. And they were like, yeah, it's fine.
Brilliant.
It's like, great.
I think the thing is, whenever you're doing an abroad gig, you've just got to have no budget. You can't be scrimping and scraping because things always happen. Flight prices always change. Might be a surcharge in taxis and stuff. And you can't just go, actually, I can't just... You just need to have kind of a buffer.
Yeah, 100%.
I find it really hard, though, to quote for those things because, for this particular one, it's on a Saturday. So I'm thinking, right, well, they're obviously going to want to fly me out the day before, and I'm then going to be flying back probably the day after.
Yeah.
But that means no gigs on the Friday and no gigs on the Sunday if I was to ever gig on the Sunday. So do I just go, I'll charge just for that gig or that day? Or do I charge knowing that I'm going to miss the previous day and the next day of gigs as well? But then I thought, but it is abroad. So I did a bit of half and half.
I was just going to say there's an in the middle there to get that.
Because you've also got your travel time as well.
Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, I'm in France.
Yeah, exactly. So it is amazing.
Yeah,
I agree.
Could be somewhere much worse, like Skegness or something like that. So, that's what I'm looking forward to. So we move on now to that part of the podcast where, you have been sat on this chair, on this yellow chair for quite some time.
I think it's been about 4 hours now.
Yeah, it's been about that. I mean, it probably isn't far off with all our false starts. But the viewers and the listeners know not that much about you yet. Yeah. Some of the viewers and listeners, I'm sure, probably know you personally, but let's get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
So, as I said earlier, I don't really want to paint the picture that you're just this business owner and director solely. You do know a lot about the industry. You've grown up in the industry. So, just tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So, how far back do I take you? Right the way back.
Right the way back.
I'll try and touch. So. When I was at school, my dad has always had pubs and nightclubs. That's kind of always been his thing. So from leaving school at 16. Well, I think I actually started working from at 15. I had the best job ever. It was the best job I've ever had, and it was working on the cloakroom
Okay.
in my dad's nightclub. And the cloakroom was positioned on the R&B floor, and I'm a big R&B fan. I'm talking the older R&B, your Ja Rule, your Ashanti. That's kind of like what I grew up with. So it was my first job. I started on the cloakroom in a nightclub. And then that's where, I was working at weekends. Obviously, I was still at school. Whether I should have been there or not, I'm not too sure. But I was there. And I was
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. So I was 15, 16. I was in a nightclub. And it was from then that I just kind of thought, you know what, I'm enjoying this. I loved the music. I loved the energy. And that's kind of how I started getting into the nightclub. As soon as I left school, that's all I wanted to do. My dad was a nightclub owner, so I wanted to be a nightclub owner. So yeah, I fell into nightclubs after leaving school. I started as, like I said, cloakroom attendant.
Were you like the popular kid? Like, oh, his dad owns a nightclub. That's so cool.
Once a year when it was my birthday party, I was the popular kid because we used to do. I remember my 13th birthday party we had at my dad's nightclub, and it was a pop and crisp night. I think it was 50p for a glass of Coke. We had glow sticks. If you weren't on the list, you weren't getting in. Everybody wanted to get in.
What year was this? The 1960s?
No, not 1960s. It would have been, oh God, early whatever it was. And I was, for that week, I was the popular kid. Everyone wanted to come to the party. So, I'll never forget my 13th birthday because my dad booked a DJ. You might not know him, but I used to be into like bouncy clubland music. It was a Bolton thing when I grew up. The DJ was called Gary Hypnotic. Don't know if that rings any bells to you.
No, not
so back in the day, Gary Hypnotic was like the clubland donk DJ.
Oh, okay.
He was on every mixtape and so on and so on. And my dad booked him for my birthday. So so that was my 13th birthday in a nightclub with Gary Hypnotic, Pop and Chris night, glow sticks. It was the best night I've ever had. And,
coolest
my
kid,
claim to fame.
And it's gone downhill from there.
It's gone downhill from there. So that's how I kind of got into nightclubs. I left school. I started in the cloakroom. Then I became a glass collector. Then I was supervising glass collector. Then I was on the bar. Then I was bar supervisor. My dad was quite strong with that. He said, listen, I want to introduce you into the nightclub world. I want you to learn it, but you're not just coming in as daddy's boy and going right to the management position. Yeah. Which I look back now and I think was probably the best way to do it. So like I said, I went from the cloakroom to the bar, did every position in the club game. And whilst I was doing all that, I was learning how to DJ at the same time.
Right, okay.
Because I got quite pally with the doorman, the DJs.
It's literally in your veins, isn't it?
I'd like to think so. So, whilst going through those kind of stages, I started to learn how to DJ on the side as well, which was really good. I got one-to-one training from the residents. If I wasn't working on the Friday, I would go in and sit behind the DJ booth and kind of help. So that's kind of how I learned how to DJ a little bit. And that's how I got into nightclubs. And then eventually, a few years went on, I became like my dad's, manager, and that's kind of where my journey started, should we say. And then that's what led me then to moving abroad to DJ as well.
Wow, okay. So when did you move abroad?
2009 till 2013.
And that was in Tenerife?
That was in Tenerife.
Right.
So I think I was about 19 at the time. I've been working for my dad since I left school at 16, and it got to the point where we were starting to argue a little bit. He was getting on my nerves. He's the big boss, and I was thinking, and I'm working every weekend. I was missing out on so many like lads' holidays and bank holiday Sunday nights out, like you just mentioned, like that used to be the thing. So I was working. I just got to the point where I thought, I don't know if I can carry on doing this. I'm ready for something different. And then that's when I had a friend who was living in Tenerife, who was a resident DJ in the biggest club out there, which was called Tramps, TRAMPS, Tramps.
Is that still going?
It's still going.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to Tramps.
Yeah, shout out to Tramps. It's still a big club. He was the resident there at the time, and they had a few residents, and one of them was leaving. So the opportunity came up to go and move abroad. At this point, I could mix, but that's about it.
Okay.
I'd never really picked up a mic. I'd never done like multi-genres. I remember I think I could mix an R&B track together. So I lied my way through the phone call. I spoke to the manager. He said, Paul, do you play R&B? I said, yeah, I do it in my sleep. He said, can you play cheese? I said, yeah, every day of the week. He said, can you play house music? I said, absolutely. Whatever you want, I can do it. Can you use the microphone? Yes. Anyway, I got the trial. And at this point, I'm thinking, how am I going to get through this? So I moved to Tenerife, bags packed on a 2-week trial, as if I was going to get the job and not be coming home. Anyway, I went out there. I think I had a couple of WKD blues before I went on for my first night. He
Nice.
threw me in the party room on my first night, playing Summer of '69 and all the big hits, and he wanted mic work. He wanted to encourage holiday makers to, you know, to do silly things. It was like a real party vibe, and I got through it somehow. I did a really good job. I just kind of winged my way through it. Then the next night I was in the R&B room and so on and so on, and then I got the job. I got
Nice.
offered a summer residency.
Wow.
So that's kind of how I got into the DJing and how I fell into mic work and a bit more of the hosting stuff and party games and that kind of thing. I learned a lot of that abroad. And then I was only going to do the one season, and I ended up doing 3 years. So it got to the end of the summer, and they had like it was like a talent show. They used to bring everyone in. Looking back now, it's quite intense. They used to bring us all in, and you didn't know whether you was getting the winter spot or not. So we would all sit there, all the DJs, let's say you were DJ, we'd all be in the same room, and we get called into the office one by one.
Yeah.
And the manager, Ollie, hi Ollie, if you watch him, he would sit you down and say, right, Paul, you know, you're in or you're not in. So anyway, I got asked to walk into the office, and I got offered a winter residency.
That must have been really nerve-wracking.
Yeah, and I didn't. But walking back out, and there was other people that weren't getting a winter residency was a little bit. You think they'd do it individually, like, you know, but they had us all in the same room. And anyway, I got offered a winter
Judges'
residency.
houses, that.
Well, sorry?
It's like X Factor's judges' houses.
Exactly. that's how it felt. So I got offered the winter residency. I remember ringing my mum, and she was absolutely heartbroken because she was gutted that I went abroad anyway.
Oh, bless.
So to now tell her that I was doing another 6 months, and then that led to 3 years.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's how I started DJing, and where I learned, like, you know, some of the other stuff, like the hosting and the games, like I mentioned. So that's kind of, it started in nightclubs, took me abroad, and then after about 3 years of doing that, I put on a lot of weight.
Okay.
A lot of weight. I was drinking every night. I keep hitting the microphone.
Don't worry.
I was drinking every night. It was encouraged to drink every night. You know, you'd arrive at the club and the manager's like, "Why not drinking?
Oh, really?
We
Wow.
need you to get on the same level as these, you know, party animals." And so it was encouraged. I wanted to do it as well. I was young. I was partying. So 3 years of that, I put on quite a bit of weight. And I remember my dad came over on a holiday, and he said to me, "If you want to get serious about the business and you want to take over, you need to come back. You know,
Right.
like, how long are you going to be out here for? How big are you going to go? You know, how far are you going to take it?" So that's when I made the decision to give up the party and move back to the UK. And then that's when I went straight back in to the nightclub game, managing the nightclubs. I came away from DJing.
Yeah.
I went back as a manager. And then from the nightclubs led to a restaurant.
Okay.
Wow.
So we ended up getting a restaurant as well. So at one point we had a nightclub, a restaurant, and a cocktail bar.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was kind of overseeing all of them.
You're so cool.
Thank you very much. I don't know if I was doing a good job, but I
You're
was
like
trying.
living my dream life.
I was
before I became
trying.
a drummer.
So yeah, so that's how I then moved into the restaurants, and then it was at that point the restaurant was so hard to run. I hated running a restaurant. To anybody out there that's doing it still now, fair play to you.
What was it that was the biggest challenge of that?
The hours?
Okay.
You know, you're getting in there at 9 o'clock in the morning, ready to open at 12. You stop serving at 9 o'clock at night. By the time you've packed down, locked up, and got out, cashed up, and say it's 12 o'clock, you know, it's every single day. It's Saturdays, it's Sundays, it's Mother's Day, it's Father's Day, it's Christmas Day, it's Christmas Eve, it's New Year's Eve. It never stops. So the hours were getting too much. And yeah, that's when I then, which I'll probably leave to a bit later because I feel like there's going to be a question about how I, you know, entered Exceed and stuff. So
Yes.
yeah, so I'll leave you there. But that's how I got into DJing and like a bit of my background. Probably gone on a bit too much though.
Not at
No,
all. It's
no,
such
no.
a fascinating
It's,
story, genuinely.
Yeah, that's kind of how it all started.
So we talk about the nightlife industry there. Obviously, you've started way back. When I say way back, I'm not trying to make
Back
a joke.
when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
I'm not trying
Thanks
to
for
make a
that,
joke
Colin.
about that. But way back in terms of, early 2000s. Would that be right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in what way have you seen the nightlife industry change from then to now? And we did touch on this a little bit earlier. But
Yeah, I was
from
just
your
going to say that you
perspective.
kind of touched on it earlier. I remember the days where bank holiday Sundays were like, you look forward to them. They were the best nights of the year. You know, there was only a handful and they were absolutely packed. 2,000 people queuing to get in a nightclub. I also remember in Bolton, where I'm from, it was 6 nights a week clubbing.
Wow.
You could go out 6 nights a week and it was busy. It might not be as busy as a Saturday on a Tuesday, but it was busy. There was 200-300 people in a club. Everybody dressed smart. It was pants, it was shoes. If you weren't wearing pants, you weren't getting in. There was none of these trackies tucked in and trainers and all that. So back then, I think everybody wanted to go clubbing. It was really busy. It was a good atmosphere, and it felt like a safe night out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the way I would describe it. And everybody used to look forward to it. People would save up for it. People would make the effort for it. And it was just a really good clubbing scene, especially in Bolton, from what I remember. Whereas now, I still speak to a lot of nightclub owners that I know who've got clubs and bars, and I believe it's a real struggle. If they can get one busy night a week, which is a Saturday, they're over the moon.
Yeah.
But these Wednesday, Thursdays and Sundays have gone. You know, the bank holidays have dropped. They've halved from what they used to be. So it's definitely changed. I, every now and again, when I've had too many wines on a meal, might end up venturing into a town centre from time to time, and it isn't the same. I don't enjoy standing in a club these days. It's just not my cup of tea anymore. It's just not the same. It's changed a lot.
Why do you think it has changed? What's led to that change, do you think?
I don't know. I think a mixture of everything. When the pubs got the late licenses, didn't they? They didn't used to have that. The pubs used to be shutting at 8 o'clock. And then everybody would go to the nightclub, and then the nightclub was booming then from 9 o'clock till 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And I can't remember what year it was. The pubs all got later licenses, and they were starting to shut at 1 o'clock. So people were going out later. They were staying in a pub till later, and then they were only going to the club at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know. There'll be the crowd that go out now. People get older. I don't know, but something's definitely changed. It's definitely not what it used. Like now, I know myself. My perfect day out now is starting at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, doing a couple of nice bars, having a couple of beers, a couple of cocktails, and then finishing off with a meal, and I'm in bed for 9 o'clock.
Love it.
That does sound quite nice.
Scrap the podcast. Let's go do it now.
That is my perfect day out. I don't want to go clubbing, but there will be younger people out there that still want to go clubbing, but it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's just not the same.
I respectfully disagree with you on that. When you talk about the younger people, I don't think they do anymore. I think there's been such a generational shift when it comes to health and wellness and well-being and sobriety and all of that jazz, that actually going out and sinking 7 shots in a row does not appeal to them anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel like we all had that rite of passage as we were younger. Like, I think the main change was COVID. Because I remember just before COVID, I used to work in the pet shop, and my days off were like a Wednesday and a Monday or something. So I'd sometimes go out on a Tuesday night, or I'd go out on a Thursday night. We used to call it like Thursday Club, and it was all still like heaving no matter where you went. It wasn't like a Saturday, but the dance floors were still full. And then I think COVID happened, and obviously everywhere shut down. And then people started drinking at home. They realised how much cheaper it was to buy a bottle of spirit for 25 quid rather than 2 cocktails for 25 quid. A lot of people got quite a lot of social anxiety. Maybe the younger generation as well, they didn't really have all that to start with when they were 17, 18, and they kind of influenced the younger generation. So maybe they haven't actually gone out and experienced this raging alcoholism that a lot of people did.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be alcoholics, obviously, but I've heard of these things now called like unplugged walks. They're going for these unplugged walks.
What's
and
that?
It means they just they go on a walk and they just don't use their phone. And it's like, so you're just walking then. That's
that is just a walk, isn't it?
That's pretty much it. But they're going back down this complete path of all this clean girl aesthetic, and they're all going on runs, and they're all doing juices, and they're all doing these diets and skincare, and they're not bothered about, like, the number of times I'd go out, get smashed, and then, within a safe reason, and then I'd sleep in my makeup, and I'd wake up with like my eyeliner down to my nose, and like, ugh. But that was just like the norm for me, whereas now it's just everything's just changed so much.
Yeah, I agree. There will be a little bit of that, 100%. I think there's a variety of things that have changed that have led to the nightlife is. The bars are still rocking. Like if you go to Manchester, Albert Schloss on a Saturday is unbelievable.
That's true, actually.
And a Sunday,
and it's
to be fair.
It's absolutely packed all day, every day. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's the different though, because Albert Schloss has entertainment.
Yeah,
I feel like people are stepping away from just DJs.
Late bars, food.
No offense, Paul.
Yeah, late bars, food, music, restaurant vibe. That's working still. That's like the thing at the minute, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Nightclubs. They're struggling for sure.
I think as well it has to do with kind of the economy. But I think obviously since COVID, everything has cost so much more than it did previous to COVID. And, you know, our wages on the average have probably gone up, but they've probably not gone up in the same proportion that the amount of, you know, the amount of spending it costs just to go out. I mean, if you're thinking, you know, if you live probably about 10, 15 minutes away from town, which the vast majority of people probably will do, or can get to a club probably in 10, 15 minutes. Obviously, they're not, you know, if they're drinking, they're not going to drive, or they shouldn't drive. So they get an Uber, or other taxi fares firms are available. But that costs, you know, a tenner there, tenner back. Then you're getting a cocktail there at the bar, which is 11 quid. Before you know it, you've easily spent 100 quid. Easy. And it's like, God, but I need that 100 quid just to pay for the fact that my gas bill is triple what it probably cost before COVID. You know, and obviously I'm not going to pretend that all these costs didn't exist before COVID. They obviously did, but I think now it's probably more extreme than it ever has done. And I think, you know, what's the first thing to go? And we know it, I think, from our own jobs, even bars, the first thing to go in a bar is entertainment. Well, the first thing in somebody's personal life to go is going to be entertainment. Especially when they can just switch on the telly and watch something for free. You know? That's
I agree again.
Anyway.
a little bit of what you've said. Same with you know, it all adds up, and all of a sudden people are not going out. So it's 100% changed for various reasons, and it's definitely not what I used to grow. I used to love the club. It was amazing. Like the atmosphere on a Saturday was incredible, and it's just not like that anymore.
No.
I also feel like the drugs has changed, the violence has changed, the threat level has changed.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what's brought that on.
Well, I think it probably has and it hasn't. I think it probably has to some degree, but then we've got older, and we are probably more wise to it now than we were back in the day. I mean, speaking on my own, on my own personal viewpoint, I was probably quite naive 10, 15 years ago when I first started going out clubbing. Didn't realise that, all this stuff is very much there. Yeah. But you start to see things when you grow up, don't you? You know, in a way that you didn't before. You know, that might have something to do with it. Let's move on from that.
Yeah, no problem at all.
So, as we have talked about, you're obviously the director and part owner of Exceed. How did that happen?
Right,
Why did that happen?
Very interesting story. So, when I was saying a little bit before about my background and where I came from, I told you I ended up in the restaurant, which I wasn't enjoying at all. So, got to the point where I was not enjoying it. It got to the point where I didn't want to go during the day. I didn't want to go to work. I wasn't enjoying it. I'd lost the passion. So at that point, I thought something needs to change here. So I sat down with my old man and I just said, "Listen, you're not going to like this, but I've decided I don't want to carry on in the restaurant. I'm not enjoying it. I feel like I'm never at home. I'm missing out on too many special days. You know, and I'm just not enjoying myself anymore. So it's time for a change." So it was the restaurant that made me change. And I thought, what am I going to do? All I know is restaurants, nightclubs, DJing. There must be something like, where am I going to go? I'm a dad now. I can't just mess around. You know, I need to have an income coming in. I thought, where am I going to go with this? And then I thought, do you know what? I'm going to just have 12 months off in terms of coming away from the restaurant, and I'm going to go and do something I enjoy, which was DJing. So I thought, I'm going to go back into it and just see what happens. So sat down with my old man. We agreed a time when I was going to step down and leave the restaurant. And it was at that point I was starting to build. Paul Roberts' Wedding Host was born.
Okay.
I wanted to become a bit of a host. I wanted to get into weddings. I wanted to DJ. I wanted to do a bit of everything. So Paul Roberts' Wedding Host was born. And the plan was to go on my own way for 12 months and just see where I go. I liked the idea of working 2 or 3 nights a week, earning an okay salary and having loads of time at home. I was craving that at the time, I think. So that's what I set off to do. And then I sent a text message out to all the people I know in the industry. And there was one person, there's a few people that replied, but there was one person who helped for sure. We both know her.
Okay. Who is that?
And you might know, I'm not too sure, but I know you definitely 100% do. So there's a lady we both know called Victoria who has Neverland events.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
I think back when I first met Victoria, I think it was Pastiche.
Many
years ago.
Gosh, yeah.
So in the nightclubs, she used to provide all our stilt walkers and fire breathers and so on. So that's kind of how I met Victoria. And it crazy how you know Victoria. It's small world. So that's how I met Victoria. So she was one of the people that I texted, and she replied back saying, fantastic news, great to have you on board, well done for going your own way. Let me send a message out to everybody I know, and I'll see if I can get you some work. So apparently she messaged Chris and Martin, my business partners, co-owners of Exceed Events. She messaged Chris and said, I know a guy, he's called Paul, nice guy, he can DJ, he can host, he's looking for some work. And it was the following morning I woke up to a text message from Chris saying, hi Paul, lovely to meet you. My name's Chris, I believe you're looking for some work. Do you want to have a conversation?
Great.
So that's kind of how I got introduced to Exceed.
Yeah.
And I went for a meeting with Chris and Martin. Off I went on my own, thinking, we'll see where this goes. And from the first meeting, we just all clicked. We were all similar ages. We all had similar. We've all been in similar industries. We all kind of knew the same people. I think it turned out I'd actually served Chris in the restaurant.
Oh, right.
Obviously, at the time, I didn't know him, but he remembered me. And I might be saying this wrong, but I think the story I remember him telling me was I think he came in on Father's Day one time, and we used to give out, I used to go around and personally give presents to all the dads and a card. It's like a nice touch, thank you for coming for your meal. Here's a bottle of Peroni on the house from us and a card, happy Father's Day. So I think I did that to Chris.
Yeah.
And I think he remembers leaving, and he was like, oh, he was nice. He seemed like a nice guy.
Wow.
So he already knew me. So we just got on from day one. We had loads of stories to share, and we just got talking, and it started off with, can I come and DJ for you? Yes. Can you give me some work? Yes. And it just kind of built from there. And then one conversation led to another. I made it I can't remember exactly how or why, but I know at some point I made it clear that, if there's ever an opportunity to get more involved, I would like to have that conversation. If you're looking for a partner along the way, I would like to have, and it just kind of went from there. And then the more we got talking, the more events we did together, so me and Chris ended up doing a couple of trips to London. So it's 4 hours each way in the van. We were talking. And like I said, one thing led to another. I think the timing was right. Martin and Chris have another business as well. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
So they have another business that at the time was taking off and doing well. And it was just timing. I think everything just kind of and it just kind of went from there. So one conversation led to drafting up a contract, which left to becoming a third, owner in the business.
Life is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just in terms of how things work out.
It's crazy, and it all started from that text from Victoria.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's how. So that was. I met them in 2023, and then I think the deal went through, and I was officially an owner of the business in October 24.
Right.
Wow.
Okay. Gosh, it feels like that happened a lot longer ago to me.
Yeah. And were you not? Did we have we had a Halloween party? Were you there for that?
Yeah. This is in October 24. Was
Yeah.
it? Yes. This is the famous party where I arrived after everyone had already left.
Brilliant.
Did I do the same?
I think you might have.
I think
actually.
we both did the same thing.
You were definitely there because I remember we had a rosé and a chat in the kitchen. I don't know if you remember that, but you were definitely 100% there. And
No, I was definitely there, but then I think I'd missed the entertainment, I missed the magician, and everyone was kind of leaving.
Yeah, you came late. You're right. Yeah, so on that particular night, I knew the deal was going through. We'd signed all the papers and everything was happening, but I think we'd agreed to keep it quiet until
Right.
we were bulletproof and we were ready to tell everybody. And what I didn't know, and it was quite embarrassing at the same time as really nice. That particular night, I was dressed as a clown. Remember?
Yes,
If you remember?
I do
Yeah.
remember this.
Full clown makeup. I looked like a clown, basically. Martin and Chris decided that was the night they were going to announce it to everybody without me knowing. So all the staff are there, DJs, artists, full time. We're all there having the Halloween party. I got called up to the pool table for what I thought was just a speech to thank everyone for coming. And then at the end of the speech, Chris and Martin said, "Oh, and by the way, we've got something to tell you all." And they had like a plaque already made with the official agreement that had gone through, and they introduced me as a new owner of the business,
Wow.
dressed as a clown. So everybody cheered, and yeah, that's kind of how we delivered it to the team. But yeah, that's how it happened, just from a meeting about becoming a DJ
Yeah.
to then owning a third of the business. But from the minute I met those two, we got on like a house on fire. I loved the brand. I loved what they'd built. I really, really liked what they'd done, and I just thought I want to be a part of that. And that's where we are now.
So what is then your toughest the toughest things that you have to go through working with Martin and Chris?
Where do I start?
No, the toughest part of your job at Exceed.
The toughest part of my job. The toughest part of my job. I'd probably say the hardest part of my job is the hours and the long. I love my job. I love what I do, but there's certain times where it's a little bit, long days get to you and you get tired and you. But apart from that would probably be the toughest part of my job. I love every minute of it. I enjoy it. Apart from some of them late nights, which we all have to go through.
But you have a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
How do you cope with that pressure of, obviously, Exceed is constantly moving, it's constantly progressing. How do you deal with personally, making sure that you're in the right headspace to kind of just crack on and exceed with Exceed?
Like what you did there, Callum. I don't know how I cope with it. It is stressful. I feel like I have, and I probably put a lot of pressure on my own shoulders, but with what we do, a lot of the times we're working with couples who are getting married, and it's the biggest day of their lives, and it's their special day, and everything's got to be perfect. So having that weight on your shoulders at times is stressful, but yeah, I don't know. I somehow deal with it, I think.
Yeah.
I try and be as organised as I can. I make notes of everything. I have a voice recorder on my phone, whereas if I'm driving and I remember something, I can quickly record it and then go back to it the day. I've got my little systems, my little tools, and I do the best I can. But yeah, there is days where it's stressful, it's hard work, but I just do the best that I can. And then if I ever need the support, obviously I've got Chris and Martin there to hold my hand when I need it, and they help me out with a lot of stuff. So the three of us at the minute, it works, and I'm enjoying it.
Would you ever say you have a day off? Do you designate a day off, or is it because obviously with me and Callum and other sole traders, you would work all the time, whereas with you being an owner, do you ever have Saturday I'm not going to do anything, or are you still on call?
I'm always on call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, with it being my business, I've got to be on call. So whenever I've not got a gig in the diary, so let's say there's a weekend approaching, if I'm not personally assigned to a gig or I'm not doing some of the things that I always tend to do, I'm off that weekend, but I'm always waiting.
Always on your phone, yeah.
For example, on a Saturday, 6 till 7 p.m. is such a stressful hour for me because that's the room turnaround time for most weddings.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just thinking, is there a phone call coming? So even though I'm off, I'm still ready. I've always got my laptop in the back of the car just in case I need to dash out and cover somebody or whatever. But yeah, it's I do have weekends off, but I'm always available. And if I know I'm going out for a meal with family and I'm planning on having a drink, I might ask Chris if he can be on standby for that particular day. But yeah, so I do take time off, but I'm always ready for the phone to ring if it needs to. But I suppose we've got to be. We've got to do that. So yeah.
Well, we're kind of the same to a degree, probably without the stress. But if we don't respond to a gig quick enough, it's gone. And that is unfortunately the way it is. And obviously people who work for other people, they've got specific hours. But we probably get messages in the middle of the night. I imagine you're the same.
Yep.
Can you do such and such? It's like, well, it's 3 a.m, but sometimes you have to.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Even when I'm off on a weekend, my phone is constantly going. It might be little questions and this has happened, or can you help me with it? There's always something where a DJ might want to talk to you about the music playlist for the night, or there's always something that the phone's ringing up until a certain point of the night, and then we can relax.
Yeah. So what then is the most rewarding part of your job?
The most rewarding part for me is the end product. So when if I'm DJing a gig personally, there's no better feeling for me than at the end of the night, the couple, if it's a wedding, the couple come over, 1 o'clock in the morning, it's a special day, they've had an absolutely incredible day and you've played a part of that. You've delivered exactly what you promised, you've put on a really good show, you've had a fantastic evening, and the fact that they go out of their way to come over at the end of the night and just say thank you to me, I know it sounds a bit cringy that, but it's true, it means a lot. True. It really does. That for me, and the reviews that come the day after, and you wake up the following day after DJing somebody's wedding and you get a text off them, it's the day after the wedding and they're texting you in the morning saying, Paul, we just want to let you know you made the day yesterday. It was absolutely incredible.
I think I got a thank you message at like 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning at once from a bride, and I was like, I saw the state of you at 2 a.m. Why the hell are you awake?
What are you doing up?
I know, it's the first thing she did.
Yeah, but like little things like that, like I said, the reviews that come with it, going into the office on a Monday morning, receiving an email from one of our corporate clients saying, guys, I just want to say, the event was flawless. It was perfect from start to finish. When you get the feedback like that, that's what for me is the most real. You know you've made a difference to somebody's event or somebody's special day that they're always going to remember, and that to me is really important.
It makes it worth it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So moving from that, then the most rewarding part of it, and you've almost slightly answered this question at the same time.
Yep.
You talk about obviously the couple coming to you at the end of the night and saying how great it has been. Why do you think, what makes Exceed different from any other company? And I say you've kind of partially answered it because obviously, you talk about that start to finish.
Yep.
They're coming at you at the end.
Yeah.
And it's like a whole journey, isn't it? That is
100%.
That is, that has progressed. But yeah, in the whole, what makes it different?
So I don't know how different. Obviously, I don't know every other company's procedures and journey and how they work. So I don't know what necessarily if we are. There might be people out there that are doing similar stuff to us. But what makes Exceed and what makes that that journey for me is the journey that the couple or the client goes through. I think it's very professional. You're not just booking a service and then it arrives on the day. You get the whole experience that's with it. So like, do you know anything about our customer journey?
I know a little bit.
Yeah.
Shall I?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Do you how much do you know?
I just know there's a swanky office that they can go into.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. So yeah, they go into this office, don't they, and have a meeting.
Yes, they can do.
Yeah. And you show them what the journey is going to be like for them, and they can pick various kind of options to add to their packages.
Yep. Like a sax player.
You like a saxophone?
If you know any.
I don't know any good drummers these days. No.
Like a drummer.
So
but
a tickle in my
essentially,
throat then, sorry.
from the office, you design their event.
Yes.
In front of their very eyes.
Yep.
Is that?
That feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
That's definitely.
When do I start?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Introducing Exceed's fourth owner, Callum Sweet.
So for me, it all starts. So let's say the couple are booking a wedding at one of our partner venues, and we're included in the package. So straight away, they've got a well-known venue recommending us. So to me, that's massive in itself. The fact that a venue are willing to put their reputation on the line via us speaks a lot. So let's say we were getting married and we booked a venue and they were saying, you need to book these guys. They're trusted. We work with them every week. They know the venue. They're our official partner. I would like to think straight away you'd think, oh yeah, we're in good hands. Then you go to Trustpilot and we've got 5-star reviews. I think we've just got over 500 now on Trustpilot, which we're very proud of. We've been focusing on the Trustpilot reviews the last 12 months rather than just pushing Instagram and Facebook and Google. So we've worked really hard for that. So all of a sudden we've been recommended by the venue. You go on our Trustpilot, 5-star, DJ was amazing, service was amazing. So already I'd like to think you're getting a really good first impression. And then from our very first welcome email, you get a nice, official welcome. We've heard from the venue, you've secured your date. They get a brochure with all our prices and all our services that we offer. They get a link to book the consultation, which you've just mentioned. So they can choose in person, they can choose phone call, they can choose video call. So straight away, I think they're just being reassured from the word go. Like I said, from the venue to the reviews, then the nice welcome email, and then they get to meet us. So they get a nice conversation in person or on a video call. And I just think the entire journey is professional and, it shows the standard that we like to set. So I think if you book Exceed, you're going to feel secure. You're going to feel like you're in good hands, and you're going to feel like, you're with somebody that's trusted by the venue that you're getting married at. So I think that's why we stand out. And I think that's why I'm very proud of the journey that we've created for the couple or the client. I think it's really good.
Oh.
Does that journey, does it finish when they've had their wedding? Or do you have some conversation after? When does it officially feel like it's finished?
I would say after the wedding, it's typically finished. There might be a little, so we'll follow up with an email saying, thank you again, guys, and they'll give us some feedback. We'll have a nice sign off, should we say. Whatever DJ has done their wedding, we'll follow up with a message just thanking them again for letting them obviously be a part of the special day. And, that's kind of where I would say, gets signed off. But yeah, there's so much on the way to the day of the event that, it's a really good journey for them. So they book the consultation. That's the first point of contact where they get to meet us. We have like check-ins along the way where we check in with them on the regular, make sure they're happy with everything. We let them know when they're going to hear from the DJ. The DJ then has a call with them. So there's it's not just we've booked a DJ, we'll see you on the wedding day.
Right.
There's so much that goes on, especially then if they start booking a wedding host. There's another consultation that comes with that where they're going to meet the host. They're going to start to plan the day together. So there's so much communication that goes on up until the day. I think it's, and if you read our reviews, a lot of couples mention that. They'll all say that as much as we want to praise the DJ, we also just want to do a special mention to Leah and Beth, because that's where it started. That that's the first point of contact. So if you read through our reviews, I would like to think that a lot of them on there will all mention the journey. It's a lot more than booking a DJ.
Honestly, it's so nice to see how passionate and proud you are about all of this.
Thank you.
Just
Well, you own the business.
gushing. No, I know, but
I've got to be.
I know, but it's lovely to see. Obviously, he just loves what he does, and that's one of the best parts of it, isn't it?
I'm going to put you on the spot here and ask a bit of a challenging, tricky question. But I know, here we
Is
go.
this on the notes?
No, it's not at all. I for those that are listening, they might think, there's just one event one night that Exceed do, and then on another night it's another event. But actually, I know from first-hand experience, you've got many events happening all at once.
Yes.
What is from the time that you've been there, if you can think of a time, the max amount of events you've had running all at once?
So there's certain months throughout the year. Peak wedding season, December. So I'm going to use December for this example. The first 2 weekends in December, the Friday, Saturday, I don't know how you guys are, but they're just stupidly busy. And on a Friday and a Saturday in December, especially the first couple of weekends, it would not surprise me if I look at the diary and I see 20 events on the Saturday.
On the same 20? I thought you were going to say 8.
20 events on the Saturday. God. 18 events on the Friday, 12 on the December is crazy.
20. I mean, that's incredible in terms of just ability to manage that is incredible.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
I can barely manage what I'm having for dinner. That's
There's a lot. So we're already now looking at December.
Wow.
So every time an event comes in, we will add. So we have what we call a weekly plan.
Yeah.
Which you've probably never heard of our weekly plan. I'm going to give you a little bit of information on that. So we have a weekly plan that we try and always plan 6 weeks ahead.
Okay.
So on this weekly plan, which I'll show you after the show if you'd like.
Oh, yes, please.
It has the week, it has the days of the week, it has all the events we've got on that week, who's on it, what DJ, what production package have they gone for, how we getting that kit to that venue, who's picking it up, who's moving it back to for the gig that's happening the day after, who's dropping off the smoke machine during the day because it's needed for the day. There's so much that goes into it. Who's collecting the van from the warehouse? Where are they leaving the key? How, there's so much. So that's what we call our weekly plan. So we always plan 6 weeks ahead. And then for months like December, we already have that on the plan now. And as an event comes in, we add it to the plan. Have we got a van? Have we got somebody available? What happens if we can't move it from A to B? There's so much that goes into it. There's a lot. But yeah, to answer your question, busy times, there can be 19, 20 events on a Saturday. So in December, on a Saturday, say 5 or 6 or 7 of them will be weddings.
Yeah.
And the rest will be Christmas parties.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is pretty impressive, actually. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to try and big Exceed up too much or big you up, but that is quite amazing.
Exceed has exceeded itself.
It's stressful.
Yeah.
You're looking at that amount of events and one person rings in sick. What do you do?
I was going to ask you, or someone, leaves the company to a new role or just changes role in the company. How do you manage that?
We have to deal with it.
I
don't know how we do it.
Shit happens.
But you do.
I don't know how we do it. To get like last year, it was one of those busy Fridays. We had nobody available. If one thing went wrong, it was like, what are we going to do? You know,
Yeah.
we were really busy. But we always have, we've no one available, but we always have a plan B somehow. So this particular night, I can't remember what, I don't want to go into too many details, but I think one of our DJs had been a family emergency. He could no longer get to an event. I think it was a wedding. And just by that one phone call, the knock-on effect it can have on... So within an hour, we had to move somebody to B, somebody to A, somebody... Now he's got to get that van, swap that van. Chris is going to have to take his slippers off, get his shoes on. He's going to have to get down there. And it's panic stations, but we have to make it work.
Do you know, actually, I've just reminded myself of something which I suppose is this very scenario that Exceed were in, where in 2023, September of 2023, my dad passed away.
Right.
And I had 3 gigs in the diary with Exceed.
Right.
My dad passed away on the Friday, and these gigs were Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
So obviously I had to, cancel. And I spoke to Leah. Leah, a shout out to Leah. I don't know how. What's her job role? She's just
Everything.
a magician.
She's the central hub, but she's the events manager.
Events manager. I like to call her magician.
Yeah, she's a magician.
But she very quickly just said, sorry that you're going through that. I'm on it. Don't worry. And then I was really conscious of the fact that obviously I'd just bowed out of 3 gigs. I think it was about 2 hours later, she said, no, they're all sorted. Yeah. And I was thinking, we're in September. This is one of the busiest times of the season because people are still getting married.
Yeah.
It's still part of the wedding season, really. It was really, really hot that summer as well, which naturally I think it means more going on for musicians.
Yep.
They're going to be doing more gigs outside or last minute gigs for parties in gardens or whatever. So I knew there was going to be less musicians available, but the magician, she just,
Leah.
just managed to sort it.
We have to sort it, no matter what. And sometimes we'll try, like on busy periods, I will try not to be on an event, and then I'm the plan B.
Right.
Martin, not on an event, he's the next guy. So we always try and have somebody, some kind of backup plan just in case the worst should happen.
Right. Wow.
And like I said, it's somebody's wedding or it's somebody's Christmas party. You can't not turn up.
No.
You've got to make it work. So yeah, we always pull through.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
What would you say then is Exceed's biggest achievement to date?
Oh, you've got the questions today, haven't you, Callum?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Not even
God.
looking at the note.
I've got the question. To be honest, I would say where Exceed is today and the brand that it is, I would say is its biggest achievement. Where it is right now, the fact that so many venues trust us, so many couples choose us for the wedding, so many repeat bookings that we get every year now because of the service that we've provided. For example, jet2.com. We do the annual awards party.
Wow.
We've done that for the last couple of years now. Really good event. They trust us each year now, and I think where we're at now, the journey, the customer experience, what they get when they book with us, I think and unfortunately I can't take all the credit for this. I do have to shout this one out to Chris and Martin. Where they have come from, where they started in a tiny little storage unit in Bury. They had a little unit. They were going out doing the gigs themselves every weekend, and from where they've took it to where it is today, I think is a massive achievement for the brand.
Oh yeah.
So I think where it is right now, and then that's now where we need to unlock the next level now, and try and I want to take it even further now.
What the hell's the next level going to be?
I was going to ask the same question.
Oh well, you will see.
We just have to wait and see. Yeah.
Okay.
You will see.
Cliffhanger.
Speaking of what we'll see, what has Exceed got coming up?
In terms of events or big announcements, anything
like
in
that,
general. So we're heading into wedding season. We've got loads of events coming up. We've got the Great Northern Wedding Awards, which I've mentioned. We've got a lot going on. No major special announcements at the minute. Okay. But we've got a variety of events coming up. We've got wedding shows. We've got the Great Northern. We've got the awards. There's a lot of corporate jobs that are coming in now, which I really enjoy going like. I really enjoy the full day hands-on techie side of the job.
Okay.
I definitely don't specialise in it, but I'm learning. And I like the jobs where we're doing somebody's awards all day, where we're responsible for the staging, sending the making sure the screens are right, the light, doing the full package. They're the jobs that, and then going into the entertainment at night. They're the jobs that I love doing at the minute. I'm trying to become the next technical engineer that never existed. I'm trying to be that guy, and I'm getting there slowly but surely. So we've got a load of big jobs like that are coming up throughout the summer, which I'm really looking forward to getting involved. In. We've got some new partner venues that I mentioned earlier. So we've got a lot of corporate stuff coming in from there, and weddings, and there's loads. There's a lot going on. A lot going on.
It
yeah.
sounds it. It sounds it.
We've got a busy year.
Yeah. So thank you for all of that.
No problem.
By the way, Paul, we're going to move forward into our podcast topic. Period, which is usually involves a interesting, funny conversation to do with usually something weird, random, maybe serious. My question to all of us really, because we're all in the wedding. What's the word I'm looking for? Help me, Christy.
Industry.
Thank you. Industry. What is the weirdest thing you've seen at a wedding, or asked if you could do?
Is it going to me first?
Yeah, of course. You're the guest.
Okay. So, I don't know if this is going to be boring or controversial.
Okay.
The weirdest thing that I think I've seen doing weddings is, and I never knew this existed, is when people have a cheesecake wedding. So it's a wedding cake that's just all cheese. Now, this is very random, but
That sounds so up my street.
Wait, hold on.
So it's somebody's wedding cake.
Yeah.
That you expect the big white tower they're going to cut into.
Yeah.
But it's a full-on cheesecake, not cheese as in your cheesecake at a restaurant, your vanilla cheesecake. An actual cheese board that's a wedding cake.
That is weird. No, that is really weird.
Which I can't quite get my head around, but apparently it's becoming more and more popular. I'm turning up to more and more weddings and seeing this big pile of cheese at the side of me.
I might do that for my wedding.
And I just find that strange. Each to their own. I would personally have just a traditional wedding cake, but yeah, that is what I find strange at the minute. That's my thing at the minute, where when I walk in, I think, there's another cheesecake here. I don't know if that's becoming a new trend.
I just feel like
numerous questions about that.
Surely if the room gets hot, doesn't it just start
that's
smelling
what
like
I
a
was
gym
good
locker
at.
room?
There's a lot. I've seen cheesecakes with ham and all sorts. I've seen some.
Really?
Yes, I've seen some.
I wouldn't be eating that though, because I'd be thinking, how is it being kept fresh?
Yeah,
It's mold anyway. It's fine.
Oh, but then also, there's the tradition, isn't there, where you take a layer of the cake and you put it in the freezer and you eat it in an anniversary, isn't it? That you
Something
eat
like that. I've heard about that.
Yeah. Well, we're not married, so we wouldn't know. But
there was none of my cake left. So
right. But I think that is some sort of tradition. But you can't do that with cheese. You can't freeze cheese, can you?
Listen, I love cheese.
So do I.
I love red wine and cheese. It's fantastic, but a cheese wedding cake is just not for me. So I personally find that a bit strange.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I mean, all power to you.
Yeah.
I think I just have to have both. I just have to have the traditional and the cheesecake.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love cheese.
Yeah.
I
just wouldn't even have the cheese. I just have a
God,
And
traditional.
it gives you bad breath. Cheese.
Yeah, it does.
You'd have to force everyone to have some.
I don't want to. I'm talking. It's not for me.
No, it's not for me either. Okay.
I will die on this hill. Weirdest thing that I've seen at a wedding, I've seen two. So I did this fabulous wedding at Wharfdale Grange. Beautiful venue, and the couple who were getting married, they were actually involved in the hospitality industry anyway. So they said I could come over a bit earlier because I'd be talking to everyone who's already involved in it. I thought that'd be great. So I did that. And just before my set, they said they had a surprise. And no one was allowed on the balcony. And if you've seen Wharfdale Grange, it's almost like rustic barn looking on the inside, but there's a big balcony that overlooks the entire dance floor. And all of a sudden this music came on. And we all looked up, and there was one of their friends was a pole dancer. And she was pole dancing at this wedding.
Okay.
But like 2 stories up, doing this spectacular routine. I don't think she was obviously wearing much clothes. And it was great, but I was just thinking, at a wedding? And they were very good friends. I think the pole dancer was actually more friendly with the groom or something.
Was the pole dancer male or female?
No, it was a female.
Okay.
So I think, so I don't really know whose idea it was, but I think if that was me, I'd be like, I don't want my groom looking at a pole dancer on my wedding day.
But I suppose
Do that on the stag.
I mean, it is very bizarre, but I suppose it's maybe the way that you look at pole dancing that maybe may make you feel at ease with it. Because if you're thinking, oh yeah, no, it's just an art, really. It's an artistic dance in the same way that any other dances. It just happens to be with less clothes, maybe.
No, I mean, I'm chuffed that both of you have said that because I used to do it.
All right.
So yeah,
maybe.
Well done for the modern men in this room.
I never knew that, Krista.
Fantastic.
No, I never knew that.
It was just I didn't get paid for it. It was just it was a fitness class that I used to do.
Right.
But you actually do have to wear minimal clothing because it's the grip. Your skin has to grip on the pole. So if you have leggings on, you'll just slide down it.
So you don't think you can you confuse Chris Dix drumming and Chris Dix does pole at the same time?
Chris
you
strips.
could be. You hit it first.
I can just swing around like a giant drumstick. Oh my god, the ideas are coming to me.
You could go around the pole whilst drumming.
Yeah, bongoing.
Yes.
Do you know what? I knew I was missing something at my wedding.
Bongo pole.
A bongo pole dancer. I knew it. I knew there was something missing.
But yeah, so she was a fantastic dancer, to be fair. And then the other weird thing that I've seen at a wedding is synchronized swimmers. So I did a wedding in France. Was it France? I've been France. I don't know. But it was like mega money wedding. And once again, there were really rich Americans. Yes, it was Saint-Tropez. The woman looked like a Barbie doll. She was an absolute, model couple, basically.
Yep.
And I actually wasn't even performing until maybe like 9 p.m. But the DJ and the sax were performing and the violin were performing from like 2. So I could just mill around the wedding just as a wedding guest. So I got to kind of experience all of it and have some canapes and stuff.
Nice.
And then all of a sudden the music started blaring. And then I think it was like Candyman, Candyman. That came on, and then this line of swimmers, like synchronized swimmers, came out with the little floral swimming caps on and the parasols, spinning it round this pool in this like incredible French villa. And it turned out it was like an Olympic synchronized swimming team that they'd flown in to do maybe like a 20-minute demonstration dance at their wedding.
And I bet they paid an arm and a leg for that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
An obscene amount.
It's those moments when you go, I should have charged more. I only asked for a glass of wine and that was it.
Is it like that Instagram reel or something when it says like, when they ask the DJ for a discount and then you turn up to the venue and it's like this mansion and the bride's coming in on like a boat.
Yeah, I've had once actually. In fact, this is probably one of the weirdest things I've seen, and we've basically done some notes and thought a bit before, and I've only just thought about that based on what you've just said. A helicopter at a wedding. Yeah, so the bride and groom were no, actually, I think it was just the groom that was flown in.
That's so
Brilliant.
007.
Yeah,
I like that. I'd do that.
It was incredible.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, and the venue was amazing. It was Hazelwood Castle.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that venue, it is outstanding. And actually, I was running a bit late to that, and I actually got a speeding ticket on the way, but I digress.
I thought you were going to say you had your thumb out and you hitched a lift in the helicopter.
No. Yeah, well, so when I got there, the helicopter had just landed, and I think I don't know I think he maybe they got married somewhere else and then had arrived there for the party. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, he just landed, and the DJ was like, "Oh yeah, he's just got here on his helicopter," and I was like, "What?"
Wow.
What are we betting? That was the groom's idea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
100%.
Well, especially if he was the only one on it.
Yeah. True.
I think one of the weirdest things though that I see at the moment, which seems to be happening quite frequently, is TVs at weddings displaying football matches or any other sporting occasion.
Do you know, I've never had that.
Really?
Never
I've
seen
had
it.
that.
I've had a couple of brides where they've said, "Oh, can you just do me a favour? If anybody comes over and asks for a football song, it's a no."
Because
half my family's Liverpool, half my family's United, as an example, and I don't want to risk anything. So I've had that, but I've never actually gone where they've had like a sporting event on.
Yeah.
So
I just feel like if you want to watch the football, get the hell out of my wedding.
But they're not
my opinion.
even the things that I've witnessed haven't been like, World Cup finals or things like that, or they've just been it's just United versus Liverpool, just a random match.
Yeah.
And I just think that's really weird. Like, you know,
But listen, if you're a big football fan,
yeah, I mean,
you know, if all the family loves it, then
yeah,
I can see why.
I
but
just would not.
But on one particular occasion, I can think about I was playing my saxophone. To the side of me, there's this screen. No one's on the dance floor.
Right.
They're all watching the match.
Yeah.
And I guess that is the reason that you've put the TV there, but you might as well have put the TV there instead of me.
yeah, I get
Well,
that.
I did a wedding, and it was when I first started, and it was me, violin, sax, DJ, and singer. So there was 5 of us. Obviously, cost a pretty penny, right? And we pulled up to this place. There was a wedding on, and genuinely, I think they all stayed for like the first 5 minutes, and then they all left. Every single person left, apart from maybe like the bride and a couple of bridesmaids, and they were kind of outside. I think the bride was quite upset, and it was because there was a match on, and they'd hired out the hotel, but obviously maybe like the function room in the hotel. So every other bugger had walked out of the function room, walked into the bar, the public bar in the hotel, and they were all sat in there watching the football.
Ooh, how dare they?
And like we were literally playing to no one, and there's
Right.
a 5-piece band on. They wouldn't have even known if it stopped. But I just thought, God, we've got to try and sometimes the bride would come through and we'd try and get her dancing
Yeah.
with some of the bridesmaids. But yeah, the 50 people who she invited they weren't even in her room.
Wow.
They were in a different part of the hotel watching the football, and I just thought, how sodding ignorant. It's awful. Like, how much money have they spent?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So we're going to move forward now to almost the closing part of our podcast.
Okay.
And that part is gig stories, funny gig stories. I was wondering if you had any. And if you say no, I've got an alternative.
Right. Okay.
I've got a new feature that we'll try. But is the answer yes or no?
Yeah, I've got something.
Oh, go on. Then.
Okay, good, because the new feature was scaring me.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So where do I start? So I'm going to take you back to when I was DJing abroad.
1892.
In Tenerife in 2009
You
till
wanna get
2013 when I was 19 years of age. And I was a resident of the nightclub, but then I got offered to do a weekly residency once a week at the Form Party. It was at the medieval castle. They do a big medieval night in a castle. Holds probably, 1,000 people, if not more. And I got the weekly residency, and it was my job. I was the warm-up act, should we say, and it was my job to get everybody going, get them singing songs, get them doing stupid things, and get them in the mood for then the main DJ to come on playing all the house music, and they're going to have a rave in the Form.
Was it kind of like Iron Apper vibes?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, big open room, Form everywhere. And I was the first on, and it was my job to entertain and get everyone in the spirit and get everyone in the mood. And I was told the more out there, the better. And what they used to do is the first 2 hours were gladiators. So they had Form pit. In the middle of the Form pit was 2 podiums, inflatable podiums.
Oh my God.
With obviously the soft bit at the bottom to catch them. And it was, where you see the gladiators where they've both got the pole in their hand and go knock each other off. So it used to be the Battle of the Gladiators or whatever they called it. It was my job to get as many people up as I could and make it as fun as I could. And one time I ended up doing naked gladiators.
No.
Naked
Oh
gladiators.
my God, I bet that was not a pretty sight.
I can't remember exactly how it looked. It was a long time ago.
Blocked out.
But back then it was very welcomed. It was very acceptable, apparently. It was
God.
very encouraged. And I had naked. So I got on the mic and I said, listen, we need to make tonight different. I'm looking for 2 naked gladiator volunteers, thinking that everyone's, originally probably a bit of a joke kind of thing as it started. I'll do it. 2 hands went up.
Oh my God, were they male or female?
2 women.
Oh, of course. Then all the men had
2
stay.
women were on the podium, naked, surrounded by, fully naked, surrounded by Form.
Sorry, can I just clarify? They're naked, but you're not.
I'm not naked.
Okay.
Nobody wants to see that. I'm up in the stands. I'm in my DJ booth. I'm looking down on 2 naked women who were doing a gladiator battle.
This sounds like every DJ's wet dream.
Which, it was a fantastic experience. And they loved it. And the crowd went wild for it. Everybody enjoyed it. It was fun. You can imagine 2 naked girls trying to knock each other off this podium. So that would probably be my funny story. I could tell you a lot more about Tenerife. There's a lot more stories, and there's a lot of stags and hens that go out there, and it's all party games and stuff like that. But that for me was probably I remember watching that thinking, what the hell is going on? I'm in a castle in Tenerife. with naked gladiators. So I just thought that was a really cool story.
That is a pretty cool story.
It was funny. The crowd loved it. The venue loved it, and yeah, something that I remember.
I mean, you weren't married at that point,
No.
but imagine going home and explaining that to your partner.
I don't think I'd get away with doing that now.
I don't
Definitely
think
not.
the world would really get
Yeah,
away with doing
but
that. now.
back then, as a single DJ, it was good. It was really good fun.
Jesus, that's a great story. Thank you. For
You're
that,
welcome. I thought I'd share that with you.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Thank you.
Paul. Thank you so much for coming here today. We do really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
So just quickly, can you tell us, firstly, where we'd find Exceed events on social media, that is, and secondly, where and if we'd find yourself on social media?
So yeah, I mean, Exceed Events is the way to go if you want to get through to me. Go through Exceed Events, and we're on Instagram at Exceed Events. We're on Facebook. Yeah, you can find us on there, absolutely no problem. Or you can go to our website, which is a brand new website, by the way.
Ooh.
Again, hats off to Chris. Chris has designed this from top to bottom. I think it's took him 12 months to get there.
Wow.
Because he's been doing it from home on top of everything else, and he's just done it slowly but surely. But if you have a look at the new website, it's exceedevents.co.uk. I'm really proud of it. I think he's done a fantastic job. So
I've not seen this yet. I'm looking
please go and check it out.
I'm
It's
going
meant
to do it immediately.
it should have a
As soon
real
as you finish.
professional feel to it, and it'll show our corporate side and wedding side all in one. I think you'll like it.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We will be here again in 2 weeks with another guest, which we won't tell you who or what they do, just in case it doesn't happen. Which is exactly what we did 2 weeks ago. It's just in the fear, but of course we know Paul well enough to know that once he's committed to something,
Yeah.
he will do it. So yeah, we can't thank you enough, and we're looking forward to seeing the finished product online, because you are the first guest we've had in our newly decorated studio.
I'm honoured.
I think you've been a fantastic guest. Thank you very much.
Well, do you know, honestly, I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me. I was a little bit nervous coming today, spotlight on me. I mean, you can't see behind the cameras right now, but there's about 48 lights shining at me. There's wires, cables, microphones everywhere. So, yeah, but I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me on, and it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Well,
Okay.
we will see you in 2 weeks' time. See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank
Oh,
you.
and just before we actually say goodbye permanently, or for 2 weeks, if you are driving, please drive to wherever you're going safely. And if you need a break, have a break. Don't end up doing something ridiculous. I know. Trust me.
We know the story.
We all know the story. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
We make it happen.